Delighted to say we're joined by our so invincible Martin Keown to give us his take on Mikel Arteta's side. Martin, a very good morning, pal. How are you?
Martin, morning, pal.
Well, good morning, guys. Good
Martin,
morning.
I'm just thinking we've probably started off on the wrong foot with you this morning because we're leaving Thierry out of our wide men and we've brought in Ronaldinho. Is that a bit controversial?
It's controversial to leave him out of any team. He's probably the greatest talent that I've worked with. Just behind, I think. Well, Dennis was just behind him.
Yeah.
If we're looking at central defence, centre forward pairings, then certainly Henry has to come into that.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I'm thinking back to Ronaldo and Romario playing against those two.
Yeah.
It was an absolute nightmare. We should be looking at dual strikers. It's something that the Premier League doesn't have to endure. We all play with one striker these days.
Yeah.
But back in our day, we had to deal with two players.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, some brilliant names there, Martin.
Great names.
Man, I want to move on to the Arsenal. I think they've started really, really well. I think I was scratching my head at some of the comments when, you know, about Arteta not supposedly letting the handbrake off up at Liverpool, where I thought the performance at Liverpool was far better. I know they lost the game to a wonder free kick, but I thought the performance was absolutely fine. I also thought the performance against Manchester City was very, very good, and I thought the very least they deserved was the point which they got later on with the equalising goal. Where are you at the moment, Arsenal, and how have you found them, and how do you see the season panning out, Martin?
Well, Arsenal are almost overachieving, Ali, at the moment. I looked at the fixture list and I thought, well, if we can be, or Arsenal can be, you know, just 3 or 4 points behind Liverpool when we get to this international break, they've done well. When you think of the away games to go to St James's, to Anfield, to Old Trafford, at any stage. So, no, it's going remarkably well. It's about keeping calm, building with that confidence, hoping everyone comes back now from international duty. Lots of the lads have got a big midweek now to try and qualify for the World Cups. But the Arsenal story is going really well. It's strength and depth, Ali. That's what it's about.
Yeah, very true.
Two players in every position. There's a little bit of an issue, obviously, for the strikers. Jesus, Havertz still injured. Odegaard now taken another blow. But the strength of the squad doesn't trouble me now that you've got the players in there to bring in to replace.
Yeah, no, very true. And I think nobody that maybe reminds us of that, Martin, anymore. I really like Calafiori, the left back.
Yeah.
I think he's done really well this season when I've watched him play. Miles Lewis-Skelly last season sort of grabbed that position and come out of nowhere and looked so competent. But Calafiori this time round, Ali, I think he looks really good, Martin. I do.
Yeah, he's a strong player, technically gifted. I see him more as a central defender. Actually.
Yeah.
It's interesting that all of the fullbacks, except for Timber, has been immense.
Yeah, it has been.
He sort of wriggles in and makes tackles in really ridiculous situations. Really tenacious. The rest of them can all fill in central defence. I mean, Ben White hasn't yet played centre half, and he came as a central defender. So this is sort of the modern day centre back come fullback that you need to be equipped to play in all positions, and invariably they're all going to play because Arsenal. They do get their fair share of injuries amongst the defenders across the unit. But you're right, Calafiori, I mean, what a talent he is.
He certainly is. I think, Martin, the way it's going to go, because as you quite rightly mentioned about the power and the depth you've got in the squad, a lot of this is now going to rest on the coach, on Mikel Arteta, picking that right team, getting that selection right. Heavily criticised after the Liverpool performance because he started in there with Mourinho as well. So with those numbers, whilst that's a wonderful luxury to have, he has to now get those big calls, those big selections right for those big games that really matter, doesn't he?
He does, Andy, but I think he's well equipped now. I do feel at the end of last season he was managing with one arm tied behind his back. Literally the same 11 every week. Now he's got, options that he can use. He can make changes in games. He's doing it at half time to try to make the changes that he needs. So I now see these 5 years in the job. I think he's now ready to win something. But you've got to go and prove it. And we're just at the start of the race. But this is the territory now for Arsenal. They're first and second, and they enjoy this way of life. You have to eat, breathe, sleep football. And you find a way to win. And I just feel there's more inspiration there. Super Mendy is another player that's come in across Europe. I don't really see anybody that's come in and integrated so well, made such an impact on the goals he scored, Ali, in that, the edge of the box.
That volley was beautiful, wasn't it?
Incredible strike.
Yeah, the header. But he makes everything tick. He came on at the weekend, seamless when he came on. The other guy going off would have been an absolute disaster last season, but not this season.
Martin, where are you with Gyokeres? Because I must admit, he scored, I think it's 3 goals so far. I'm watching, I can see steady improvement, but there's 1 or 2 saying that maybe they haven't been that suitably impressed. I think we're all in agreement. It's still very, very early, and I can see improvement. Where are you with Gyokeres at this moment in time?
I see it as work in progress. I see that he's getting fitter. He's a bull of a striker. He has to be at the top level, in terms of his fitness. And we've seen that now, signs that he's getting that strength. The thing is, as well, Alan, when we watched the midweek game in Europe, the last one, Ødegaard was definitely taking fewer touches to get forward, going through the Arsenal midfield much quicker. And it was like, I'm thinking back to the Wenger years, everything was 1 touch, 2 touch. Don't take too long on the ball. You're killing the time on the ball for your teammate. Get it forward quickly. And they've not used him enough, but that's changing now. And I think he'll profit from that.
Martin, just a quick one before we let you go. Today, believe it or not, is 25 years since the last game at the old Wembley when England lost 1-0 to Germany. I think I'm right in saying Kevin Keegan might have resigned after that game. You're certainly part of that squad, part of that team. What are your memories?
Well, we lost.
Martin, I think you'll find that's why I brought it up.
Yes, you're not wrong. But, I suppose it was fitting. England, Germany, and what it meant at that stadium, the greatest hour in English football, Ali, 1966. I think the Scottish beat, didn't the Scottish beat England in 1967?
We did, 3-2.
Yeah. There you go. I thought I'd give you a moment there to relish.
Martin, after that game, did Kevin come in the dressing room and just announce it to you guys straight away?
Well, Kevin was a manager who was kind of like worked on emotion, and he felt the crowd. There was rumblings in the crowd of discontent, and Kevin said, "No, I always said that if I thought there was a problem, I'd go." And he announced it to the group.
Wow.
Arthur Cox was saying, "Kevin, think about it," But Kevin said, "No, my mind's made up." And it was a shame, really. Kevin left, I believe, too soon. And of course, we then had to go to Finland to play another international. So he resigned halfway between the sort of international break. We were like Tuchel walking out this week, midway through. It was quite tricky. And then we went to Finland. I managed to captain England on that occasion. So that was quite a big moment. The media, the attention. It was. I felt like the England manager sitting there. During the press conference, and everybody else had pulled out the squad, so I managed to become captain of England on that one occasion.
Lovely.
Brilliant. Martin, listen, pal. Thanks very much for taking the time to join us this morning, Martin. Hopefully see you very soon. You too.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.